So let's go ahead with whatever we had started. I think so. We had started with the living world, right? We have started with the first chapter of living world, and in last class we had seen something about metabolism. And I think that you all are okay with growth, reproduction, and metabolism, the three parameters that we had seen in the previous sessions, right? So today we can continue ahead with the fourth characteristic of living organisms, and we can discuss something more on it. So I'm sure that you all are confident about whatever we had discussed in the last class. Still, if anyone is having any difficulty or any doubts, you are free to, convey your doubts to me. Fine. I'll just start sharing with you all so it will be easy for you all to recollect the things. Okay. Here we had seen about metabolism. So, so we had talked about growth as the first factor. Then the second that we had discussed was about the reproduction, in which asexual and sexual reproduction was dealt in detail. And the third parameter that we saw was about the metabolism, wherein I had discussed about the catabolism and the anabolism in detail, right? So I'll be moving ahead with the fourth one. But before that, anyone who has not understood anything or want me to repeat anything or something like that way? No, na? You're okay? Sure, fine. Great, great. So we'll go ahead with the fourth one. That's going to be consciousness. Okay. So let us see the fourth parameter, that is consciousness, which is also referred to as a response to stimuli, and that to external stimuli. Yeah, I'm getting one doubt. Is metabolism always defining living organisms? Aren't there some exceptions? Okay, I'll come to it, beta. There are no exceptions, but I'll come to it. Okay. Can you repeat the anabolism and catabolism part? Sure, I'll repeat anabolism and catabolism. Yeah, I want that only, my dears. That if you have not understood anything about it now, please tell me to repeat. There's no harm in going ahead with, repeating something rather than moving with some, glitches in your mind. I'll definitely quickly go ahead with your metabolism ka part, okay? So as I said, catabolism and metabolism. Catabolism is breakdown and anabolism is biosynthesis. So in catabolism, what is going to be broken down? The complex substances would be broken down into simple substances. What are the complex substances? The complex substances are going to be your food that you're going to intake, okay? So it could be carbohydrates, fats, proteins, okay? Everything that we are going to consume, and those complex things would be chopped off into very simple substances like carbohydrates. After undergoing catabolism will give us glucose. Proteins would give us amino acids as we call it, and fats would give us fatty acids and glycerol. Okay. Along with that, during this catabolic process, we are going to get energy in the form of heat and in the form of ATP. Heat energy will be used for maintaining our body temperature, while energy, which will be your ATP, will be used as a functional role for the biosynthesis of certain substances required by our body. So what do you mean by the word biosynthesis? Anything that is going to be synthesized within the cell will be called as biosynthesis. Okay. Now the catabolism has given us three products: glucose, fats, fatty acids and glycerol, and amino acids. Now these products will be used as raw material for synthesizing something that is required by our body. Example I had given you was the cell membrane structure, and the one that I gave you was about the keratin, which is present in our hair as a protein, right? So for rebuilding something for our cells, you require the raw material that will be made available by the catabolism of whatever food we are going to eat. Okay, so that was all in all the idea about your metabolism. Now there was one question that I had, like rather one point that I had discussed, that growth and reproduction are one of the characteristics of living organism, while metabolism I had told is a defining property or it's an exclusive property of living organisms. Correct? Now there is a question given very beautifully by Vaishnavi, that is there no ifs and buts for metabolism? Is metabolism always a defining property of all the living organisms? Yes, beta. Metabolism is always the property of living organisms, or rather, I would say living cells. Okay. Now, when I say living cells and living organisms, what would be the difference in this? Let me tell you all that as well. That is, these metabolic reactions can take place in vitro. In vitro का मतलब होता है in a glassware, मतलब in a lab. Okay? And in vivo का मतलब होता है, वो vivo आईफोन की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ भाई. vivo बोलेंगे ना तो तुम लोग को सिर्फ आंखों के सामने फोन आता है, नहीं तो वो vivo IPL आता है ना. वो vivo की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ. in vivo मतलब in living cell. So the metabolic reactions are going to be taking place in vitro or in vivo. अब in vitro का मतलब क्या है? In the lab. In the lab का मतलब क्या है? What do you mean by the word in the lab? There are many industries which are going to make enzymes like lipases. You know, you have heard about this word lipase. Lipase is an enzyme which will break down lipids. Okay, so वो जो एरियल का ad आता है, देखो, have you all seen एरियल दोडाला वाला ad? I don't know if you have seen the ad or not. You might have seen. वो कौन है? आयुष्मान खुराना का कोई तो एक ऐड आता है, फिर अमिताभ बच्चन का भी कोई एक ऐड आता है वॉशिंग पाउडर वाला, है ना. वो समोसा खाती है और कितना, मैं आई मीन हाउ दे हैव शोन दे, how she deliberately makes that ketchup fall on her dress. I mean something very weird, but yes, it's there. So then वो they put that everything in that machine, and वो ये detergent से ये दाग निकल जाते हैं. There's one more who is applying all that food to his entire shirt or something very very weird thing. Whatever, yeah, ghadi detergent, yes. So whatever, okay. So in that, what is their claim? What do they claim? They claim that the oil, on that shirt or whatever dress also will be completely gone. How? So that oil is nothing but fats, na beta. So those fats will be broken down by the enzymes of lipases. So these lipases have to be manufactured in the industry. So how these are manufactured? They are manufactured by this particular बायोसिंथेटिक प्रोसेसेस. तो ये जो लैब में जो एंजाइम्स बनेंगे या लैब में जो हार्मोन्स बनते हैं, इंसुलिन, राइट? Insulin is like nowadays prepared in the lab, and directly people take the shots of insulin in their stomach. Correct? Now these reactions can be taken place in vitro. That means in the glassware, right? In that case, is that glassware a living, entity? Definitely not. But the reactions are living. Okay. So therefore, metabolic reactions are always living. They are going to be the unique properties or exclusive properties of living organisms. In vitro, the process is artificial, but the reactions are living reactions. Okay. So yes, metabolism is purely going to be a defining property of living cells and living organisms. Got this? Right, Vaishnavi, you got the answer, beta? Okay. In which organ does the biosynthesis take place? Beta, biosynthesis takes place in every cell. Every cell of us is involved in some or the other biosynthetic and catabolic reactions. Okay. Every cell has got its own, biosynthetic product and catabolic product being made. Can catabolism be anaerobic? Yes, it can be anaerobic. It does not have to be always aerobic. Okay. Insulin cannot be given orally. It has to be injected. It is made by biotechnological advances using different organisms like E. coli, which is there in your syllabus ahead, which I'll be explaining. कि हम artificially insulin कैसे बनाते हैं, ये भी मैं explain करूँगी eventually. Okay, right? Yeah, yeah. Perfect. Yes, Shreya, you're right, beta. You're right. Okay. Yeah. So on this, can we move ahead with response to stimuli? Any more doubts, my dear? Okay. Used to produce which the raw material of glucose is used to produce? No. Glucose will be further broken down or it will be changed into some other isomer like fructose or something like that way, but it, or it will be, you know, converted into glycogen and it would be stored. Glucose will undergo the process of glycolysis, which will then follow acetylation, which will then follow Krebs cycle, which will eventually give us energy. Everything is there in our syllabus. So that's the most beautiful part of, you know, our system. What we feel, what we feel, I'm living because I'm living because I am getting oxygen, है या नहीं? सबको लग रहा है कि नहीं? Nowadays, so you know what is the condition outside. This person expired because oxygen was not available. This person is, you know, like struggling for oxygen. But when you will come to know the role of oxygen in our life now, you will be shocked and amazed to know, अरे यार ये oxygen कुछ क्या काम करता है? कुछ भी नहीं. ऑक्सीजन क्या काम करता है? हार्डली कुछ काम करता है ऑक्सीजन, लेकिन उस हार्डली कुछ काम के लिए भी हम लोग तड़प रहे हैं और तड़पते हैं इनफैक्ट. Okay, so please my dears, please understand this particular thing, that we'll be telling, I'll be telling you the fact of oxygen, ki what is the role of oxygen when I'll teach you the chapter respiration. So there are two chapters. One is breathing and exchange, wherein you will come to know that how the oxygen is being, you know, passed in our entire body. And there is another chapter called as respiration, the most beautiful. You have never ever heard about, you know, what is the role of oxygen in our existence. And when you will come to know, you will be so surprised. So of course, that is also a part of our syllabus, which I'll be dealing with you all eventually very soon. So so Krebs cycle is included in which process of metabolism? It's an amphibolic process. Amphibolic means it is going to break down also, and its intermediates will be used for biosynthesis also. So we call it as amphibolic. What are amphibians? Those who live in water also and on land also. So amphi means both. So Krebs cycle is considered as an amphibolic pathway because it is going to break down certain substances also, and its intermediates will be used for making of something also. ओके, आई बी टॉकिंग इन डिटेल अबाउट देम, डोंट वरी. बहुत मजा आएगा. तुम लोग जब क्रेब साइकिल, ग्लाइकोलिसिस, ईटीएस, ये सब जब मैं तुम्हें पढ़ाऊंगी ना, you will really enjoy it. You will really enjoy it. It's the most beautiful part, and we have never thought of it. So it will come. It will come. Okay, and we'll deal with it in a very beautiful manner. Okay, chalo, fine. Let's move ahead with response to external stimuli. Now, living organisms respond to their surrounding or environment, as we all know. Respond to environmental stimuli could be physical, chemical, or biological. Of course, it could be any physical process. Someone just, you know, brings a needle near you and you move your hand. That is also response to stimuli, which is physical. Chemical, you eat something wrong and जो गड़बड़ होती है ना फिर, that uneasiness that you feel, or you get an infection of some bacteria and you start developing you know, some symptoms for it. Those are your chemical. And biological is something that is each and every organ of us internally is undergoing a process of peristalsis, that is contraction and expansion. So that also gets altered because of certain responses. Yes, 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 beta. Even vision is stimulus. Yes, my dear. You're bilkul correct. Correct, correct, correct. So just in human beings, similarly, yes, Vidhi, perfect. Even in plants, you can see insectivorous plants. You might have heard about it, or touch me not plant, mimosa, है ना? So all are going to show response to stimulus, whoever is living. Okay. Plants respond to external factors like light, water, temperature, other organisms, pollutants, etc. Organisms can sense and respond to environmental cues. What are environmental cues? Environmental cues are any changes in the environment and we can sense it. Okay. More than we, the animals around us sense it more, right? So you might have heard about, you know, like, or you might have even seen a peacock dancing just before the onset of the monsoons. It's response to stimuli, right? The dog would sniff something which is not, we cannot smell it, but the dogs will sniff it so early before, you know, it's actually going to come into, noticeable things with others. So these are, you know, specifically the sense organs are going to play a vital role in this. Why that? आँख में कुछ चला जाता है ना बाय मिस्टेक, तो भी हम फटक से आँख बंद कर लेते हैं. देखा है आपने? सोचा है कभी? Yes, Pavlov's experiment. Yes, Yes. Very good. Yeah, Sadika, you're right, beta. It's Pavlov's experiment which is going to prove this. It will come in our chapter of neural system. Neural coordination may Pavlov's experiment is going to be, you know, dealt in detail. Yeah, very right. So there is response to stimuli. Very correct. Now, photoperiod affects reproduction in seasonal breeders, both plants and animals. Now, what do you mean by the word photoperiod? Please understand this word because you have heard about photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is associated with making of food, correct? Photosynthesis is associated with making of food. But photoperiodism or photoperiod is nothing to do with food. Okay, then what is photoperiodism? Photoperiodism is associated with flowering of the plants. What is photoperiodism? Photoperiodism is affecting the flowering of the plants. So photosynthesis will be done in the leaves, but getting the bud formation and buds getting converted into a flower is the stimulus given by the photoperiodism. So photoperiod is nothing to do with photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is for food and photoperiod is for flowering. Is it fine? Okay. So photoperiodism is associated with flowering. Now, flower will be having calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, which we all know, right? Calyx made up of sepals, corolla made up of petals, androecium made up of stamen, gynoecium made up of pistil or carpel, whatever you say. Even these is going to be there in detail for us. We'll be doing each and every word in detail as of now. So this androecium is called as male reproductive organ and gynoecium is called as female reproductive organ. Correct? So male reproductive organ is going to form pollen grain and male gametes, while female reproductive organ is going to make ovules and the egg. Right? So egg formation and the male gamete formation. So we can call them as gamete formation is associated with whom? Photoperiod. Okay. So therefore it comes as seasonal breeders. Therefore it is called as seasonal breeders. So what do you mean by seasonal breeders? Nowadays किसका season चल रहा है? Mangoes. मैंगो का सीजन चल रहा है ना बेटा सबके घर पे मैंगोज आए हैं सब लोग एंजॉय कर रहे हो तुम लोग मैंगोज आई नो ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल सो दैट मैंगो का सीजन है व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय मैंगो का सीजन only in a particular time period of the year you get these mangoes why like that way because for that fruit formation you require a flower and for that flower formation you require a typical exposure of sunlight. For that flower formation you require a typical time period of sunlight. So when will you get maximum sunlight? Which is the time period where you will get maximum sunlight? What would be the time period? Can you tell me? Exactly. Very good. Summers. So during the summers, when the time period that is going to be available for the flowers to get converted into complete flowers and make a fruit, that will be your seasonal breeders. Do you know strawberries? When do you get strawberries? Strawberry कब मिलता है बेटा? Winters, exactly. Now, why don't we get strawberries during the summers? Why do we get it only during the winters? Because for the strawberry flowers to bloom, you require less sunlight. And for the mango flowers to bloom, you require more sunlight. So, depending upon the time period of light exposures, you get flowers and fruits in a particular season. But there are some plants which are not dependent on this, like tomato. You can give artificial. Yes, beta, you can give artificial systems. Tomatoes, you get tomatoes every time, na? कभी भी टमाटर available है. Yeah, bananas. Yes, Gayatri. Very nice, beta. Yeah, bananas also. So why like that way? Why these bananas and tomatoes and all, they are available throughout the year? Because they are not rigid or they are not fastidious about the time period of sunlight. कम है तो भी चलेगा, ज्यादा है तो भी चलेगा, उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. So we have got three types of photo periods. One which will require more light for flowering. Other which will require less light for flowering. Less matlab if more light is available na, their flowers will not bloom. Okay. And third, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. लाइट है तो भी खुश है, लाइट कम है तो भी खुश है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. तो इनके बारे में भी हमें आगे देखना है with respect to three types of plants depending upon the photo periods, which is a part of our syllabus ahead. Okay, so that also we are going to talk in with details. So photoperiod act as stimuli. Yes, my dear, photoperiods will act as stimuli for flowering. So photoperiod is nothing associated with photosynthesis or food. It is associated with flowering. Clear? दिमाग के अंदर जा रहा है, दिमाग के ऊपर जा रहा है, भाई किधर जा रहा है तुम्हारे? अंदर जा रहा है ना सबके? हाँ, it should go in and it should be fitted inside perfectly. नहीं तो इधर से ऐसा tangent जा रहा हो तो बोलो मुझे. हाँ, it should not go tangent, it should be perfectly within. Okay, fine, good. So you all have followed what is photoperiodism, right? Yeah, so even photoperiodism is nothing but is response to external stimuli, correct? Fine. So it's found in animals also and it's found in plants also. Okay. Organisms handle chemicals entering their body and they're aware of their surroundings. Of course. We think twice before eating anything which is not known to us. हम उसका पहले स्मेल लेते हैं, फिर उसको देखते हैं, अच्छा है कि नहीं, and then we will try to, even medicines देखो, you won't just pop in the medicines. You should not. You should have the practice of reading what this medicine is. Okay, what are the contents? Always have a habit of doing that. Okay, and then you're going to take it. Fine. So like people earlier used to say crocin. What crocin? It's paracetamol, right? Crocin is nothing but it is paracetamol. So sometimes that person will give you crocin, sometimes that person that will he will give you, that chemist wala will give you something else. Forget, just read the content. Content is more important. So we should be very well aware of our surroundings with respect to what is going to be, going in our stomach also. So yeah, we are aware of it, of course. And last sentence is very important. That is, human beings the only organism which has self consciousness. So consciousness सबको है बेटा, but self consciousness जो होता है ना, it is exclusively going to be for us human beings. Okay. Okay, because because only we are the ones who are self conscious. You know what is self conscious? You know what is self conscious? Consciousness और self consciousness में क्या फर्क है? समझ लो बेटा. कॉन्शियस सारे के सारे जितने भी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स है ना, सारे कॉन्शियस है, बट ओनली ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर सेल्फ कॉन्शियस. सेल्फ कॉन्शियस मीन्स, अरे यू वांट टू गो इन द लोकल मार्केट टू गेट एनीथिंग, यू विल लुक इनटू द मिरर 100 टाइम्स. मैं अच्छा हूं ना, मैं ठीक लग रही हूँ ना, इधर से तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ये तो ठीक है, ये. टेल मी फ्रैंकली, टेल मी फ्रैंकली. अरे नॉट विमेन, कम ऑन बॉयज, इवन यू ऑल आर लाइक दैट ओनली. हाँ, डोंट टेल मी ओनली. वो हेयर कट ऐसा ही नहीं चाहिए, वैसा ही चाहिए, इधर से मत काटो, उधर से मत काटो, वो चाहिए, ये चाहिए, सब नाटक तुम्हारे में ही होते हैं आजकल. हाँ. So we are self conscious. See, I'll tell you one funny thing, and it's a fact. It's a fact. Okay. Whenever, have you all ever slipped or have you all ever fallen while walking or cycling or something, running or something like that way? कभी गिरे हो? किसके वजह से गिरे हो? अगर कोई खड्डा आता है बीच में या गड्ढा आता है या बनाना का स्किन होता है उसके ऊपर से कभी मस्त जूम करके गए हो? Have you all ever experienced that? Yes. Yeah. I know. But see, whenever you fall down in that particular, like whatever, that particular गड्ढे में अगर पैर अटक के तुम गिरते हो या वहां पर बनाना का स्किन है इसलिए उसके ऊपर से फिसल के तुम गिरते हो, the next time when you go at the same spot ना, you will first again look at it. Is it there or is it gone? है या नहीं? True? Yes, that is self consciousness. That is self-consciousness. We are aware of ourselves. We remember things. We know something. Ki, yeah, last time when I had come on this particular road, I had fallen down because there was, a manhole that was open, or there was a banana skin, or something like that way. And then you again, every time when you go there, now you look at it. And even if you go there after 40 years of your age, now you will tell your friends or your whoever is with you, पता है मैंने 40 साल पहले इधर आया था ना, ऐसा ऐसा हुआ था. Self consciousness. Okay, no one of us, no, yeah, that is true, but what is the most important, no one of us, one more true example of self consciousness, one more true example of self consciousness. See, no one of us will go to a party wearing our night dresses. Would you go to a party wearing your night gowns or night dress जो भी डाल रहे हो? डालोगे? क्यों 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 क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? जो डाला है वो डाला है, तो क्या हो गया? No, not the pajama party. I'm talking about a proper party. Huh? Why? Why not? Why not? Why are we so much choosy about it? That is self-consciousness, right? So we are very conscious about ourselves. We want to look good. We want to wear decent clothes, depending upon what is the function we generally dress ourselves, right? The way we behave in public, right? We are very conscious. You have seen dogs in, like, even if they are, surrounded by so many dogs, they don't bother. They take their one leg up and they start scratching themselves on their legs, and they start, like licking themselves on their legs, feet, everywhere. Can we do like that way in public, or in, like you're alone also, would you do it like that way? Never na. Exactly. उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Imagine a person walking on the road is scratching his back with all his, possible ways. You will look at him in a very weird way. What is he doing? है ना? Exactly. So that is the difference between self-consciousness and consciousness. Self-consciousness is becoming aware of ourselves. Okay. Yeah, because they are still in the developing age, beta. Zui, they are still in the developing age. Their senses have not yet completely developed, na? So it will take time. Even the same applies to very old people also, right? Just like toddlers, even the very old people also, na? Even they are not very much into it. Okay, so general I'm talking about. Now, in this particular explanation, you can see the photographs of here, of course. The photographs will signify everything to you all, that, yeah, this is the Pavlov's experiment wherein the food is being brought and the dog starts salivating and all those things. This is also your consciousness. This is your self-consciousness. Where's my pointer, by the way? Yeah. So the boy who is looking into the mirror is about the self-consciousness. I guess he would be somewhere of your age, I guess. You know? He's looking. What is exactly there? Is there anything or not? Self-consciousness. Okay. So have you all understood the difference between consciousness and self-consciousness? Anyone still having any difficulty with that? Got it now? Now one question to all of you all. Now one question to all of you. Okay. That is, if a person, if a person is in a comatized state, or we call it as in coma. You have heard about this? This person has slipped into coma. That person is in the comatized state. Yeah. So when that person is in coma, is he showing consciousness or self-consciousness, or is he not showing? Just tell me. Yes or no? Okay. Yes, some are saying no, some are saying not showing. Okay. I'm getting many answers. Several of you all are saying yes. How do you determine will the person will be in conscious? Yes. My question is very simple. That if a person is in coma, is he going to show response to stimulus, or is he not going to show response to stimulus? Or is he conscious or is he not conscious? That's the question. Then, but consciousness is an exclusive characteristic of living organisms. But he is living now. That person who is in coma is living. We can't say because he is not showing response to stimuli, he is not living, he is dead. ऐसा तो नहीं बोल सकते ना बेटा. हाँ, so then how to solve this problem? I'm seeing your reply is very beautiful. That's true. That's true. I agree, Gautam. You're right, beta. But how would you then correlate this? Question समझा ना मेरा? Clear ना? Yeah, they do. But the one who is completely in a comatized state, I'm talking about them. Okay. Okay. I'll clear your doubts. I'll clear your doubts. Okay. See, what do you mean with he's not self-conscious but conscious? So he's living. Yeah, he's living, of course. Okay. I'll give you the explanation to this. Yeah, I'll give you all the explanation. Okay. So a person who is in a comatized state or the person who is in coma, for that particular person, physical response to the external stimuli is not possible because his motor actions cannot be performed. His motor actions cannot be performed, his physical actions cannot be performed, but that doesn't mean that he is not aware about his surroundings. Okay, so I myself have seen a case when I was studying, okay, like you all only. So I have seen this case. We have in our medical studies now, we have to have small summer projects. Okay, so summer camp के जैसे है ना summer projects होते हैं हमें. So we have to take up a small summer project. It's compulsory for all of us. Okay, for all students it's compulsory. All medical students it's compulsory. So they give us a small project and we have to go during the summer vacations to that particular, any institute or wherever, whatever subject you have taken, you have to go there and you have to complete, do that project physically and write it down and submit it to your respective colleges. Okay. Now, I had seen with my own eyes that there was such a similar project that was taken, and then at KEM Hospital, uh, Mumbai. You all know where is KEM, of course, Lower Parel. Over there was a lady who was in this comatized state. Okay, she was not very old, maybe around the age of 40, 45. Okay, and she was comatized for almost more than 6 to 8 months, and she was just lying, just like a like how the person is dead now, like that only. That female was lying on her bed in the hospital. Okay, now that there was a guy around her, maybe her husband or brother, I don't know who was he. So he was actually very furious, and she did not come from a very well, like well-to-do families. Okay, so she was like, it was very difficult for that guy to, take care of her, medicinal expenses and all. So he was very irritated and too much of, so he started yelling at her. He, like whenever the doctors enter and all na, these people they become very violent. कि कुछ होने वाला है कि नहीं, ये जिंदा है बोल रहे हो आप, ये कुछ नहीं कर पा रही है, ये मर जाएगी तो अच्छा हो जाएगा एंड ऑल. दिस इज द वे ही स्टार्टेड, और कितना दिन में इधर आके इसको देखता रहूं एंड ऑल. समथिंग वेरी, very weird things he was talking about that female, and she couldn't respond physically for whatever he was saying, right? But when you look at that lady, okay, when we looked at that female, literally the, teardrops were rolling out from her eyes. So what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? She is only not able to respond to the external stimulus physically, but she was in the capacity to understand what is going around her, to which the only reaction was rolling out of the tears. Okay, get me? So even in the comatized state, even when that female is in coma, she is conscious. And she is not only conscious, she's even self-conscious that they are talking about me, he's talking about me. And she was feeling bad that I'm helpless. I'm helpless. I can't do anything. Okay. So this is like, a very important point. Like I would definitely share with you all. Of course, it's a part of our syllabus indirectly, but there would be many such true stories which I'll be discussing with you all in our entire, uh, syllabus completions. So anyways, so I hope you all have understood that why then a response to stimuli or consciousness is going to be, exclusive characteristic of living organisms. Did you all understand this? Okay. Munna by MBBS I haven't seen, so I'm very bad at it. I don't see many movies and all, so not sure about what you said. Maybe the others, your friends might have seen, so they would correlate. Anyway, so I hope you all have understood now, beta. So out of the four parameters or the four characteristics that we studied, that was growth, reproduction, metabolism, and response to stimuli. Out of four, two are one of the properties of living organisms, while two are exclusive properties of living organisms, right? Even you haven't seen, na? I don't see movies. Anyway, so I hope you all have understood all the four characteristics of living organisms. Anyone who is still having any difficulty with anything that we have discussed till now, beta, anyone, come on, tell me. By the time you recollect whatever I have told, I'll have a sip of water. Okay? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with your doubts. No doubts? Sure. Then I think we can move ahead. So now what is the next thing that we have to understand? So what did we see first? During the state of coma, can you feel under anesthesia totally numb, but where are you in coma? Can you feel the pain? No. Nothing can be felt directly unless and until the things are going to be better. Okay. Four properties and let us know which one is which. Okay. The four properties: growth, reproduction, metabolism, and a response to stimuli. Out of these four, growth and reproduction are one of the properties of living organisms. As I said, one of the properties means ये grow नहीं कर रहा है मतलब ये मर गया नहीं, ये रिप्रोडक्शन नहीं कर पा रहा है मतलब ये मर गया नहीं, है ना? लेकिन ये ग्रोथ कर रहा है इसलिए जिंदा है, ये रिप्रोडक्शन कर रहा है इसलिए जिंदा है, ऐसा भी नहीं बोल सकते हम लोग. सो इट इज वन ऑफ द प्रॉपर्टी. Okay, one of the properties. But exclusive properties means this cell is living, so it has to perform metabolism. Or metabolism is an exclusive property of living cells. Similarly, response to stimuli is an exclusive property of living organisms. Non-living organisms will never give response to stimuli. Okay, got it? Yes, that person can listen very clearly. That person can interpret what is being said around him also very clearly. Fine. Okay. And the temporarily grow means living only. Now, grow is two beta. Growing is two types: internal and external. Non-living organisms grow externally and living organisms grow internally. So I said it is one of the properties, beta. Bhavika, it's one of the properties because it's going to be showing internal growth in living while external growth in non-living. Okay. Yes, my dear, you're right. Dia, you're right, beta. You're perfectly right. Then that person will be called as dead. Yes. Internal growth means living. Yes, internal growth is in living and external growth is going to be in non-living objects. Okay. Well, so now we understood the four characteristics of living organisms, and now we can clearly distinguish between living and non-living. Now, depending upon these living characteristics, how many different living organisms, or rather, how many different types of organisms exists on the earth is something that was tried to figure out. So the next thing that we're going to talk about in this particular chapter is something: diversity in the living world. Okay, so if you look over here at this particular chart, you will be shocked to see this. There are 1.7 to 1.8 million species existing on this earth. Ab dekho, my dears, 1.7 to 1.8 species. Now, what is species is something which you have to understand. Homo sapiens is one species, human beings. We all are Homo sapiens. So, Homo sapiens is one species. Likewise, there are 1.7 to 1.8 million species existing on the earth. तो होमो सेपियन सिर्फ भारत की बात करते हैं तो कितने करोड़ भारतवासी है? How many? What is the population of India alone? Come on. Yes, 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 yes. है ना, वो 130 दिमाग में फिट हो चुका है सबके, करेक्ट? So see, only Homo sapiens in India are around 130 CR, 130 crores. Now we are talking about 1.7 to 1.8 million species. So just like one Homo sapiens, there are 1.7 to 1.8 million different types of organisms found on this earth. Okay? Okay. Now among this 1.7 to 1.8 million species, 1.2 million are only animals and 0.5 to 0.6 are plants. Okay. Out of 1.2 million species of animals, 0.75 million are insects alone. Oh my God. इसीलिए हमें किधर भी जाते हैं तो कोई ना कोई इंसेक्ट काटता ही रहता है ना. कौन काटा पता नहीं, इंसेक्ट काटा. दैट इज व्हाट वी से, राइट? So 1.2 में से 0.75 is only your insect species. So among 10, 7 are insects. Among 10, 7 are insects. This is the proportion, right? Yeah. I'll come to that, beta. Yeah. And 0.45 millions are others. Others means other type of animal species. Okay. Now, species. Everywhere I have given the word species. Now, what do you mean by the word species? Species is nothing but when two organisms, okay, when two organisms, we take two organisms and we say they look alike, but are they of the same species? So, what is the species? Species is nothing but it is going to be someone who is capable of interbreeding and producing its own type of offspring. Those two organisms will be called as one species. Okay, so of course, human beings can interbreed with human beings to produce human beings. Tigers can interbreed with tigers to produce cubs. Plant में भी mango का male gametes have to fertilize the mango का egg to make mangoes. Okay, so that is called as one species. So mango will become one species. Dogs ka one species. Cats ka one species. Fine. So this is how they are saying that there are 1.7 to 1.8 million species found on the earth. Okay, got it? Yes. In others, that's what I said. So it could be lion, tiger, anyone. I mean, all other animals that are there available on this earth, all will come under that 0.45 million others. Okay. Hybrids, yeah, hybrids are artificial species, beta. So we'll come to the different types of species ke definitions also. So this is an important data. They ask you questions in your competitive exams based on this. So how many total number of species? How many amongst them are animal species? Among animal species, how many are insect? Everything will be asked. So you have to remember these figures. Okay. Mangoes, different variety होती है बेटा. Species एक ही होता है उसका. Variety अलग अलग होती है. Okay, those are lower than your species. I'm coming to that only. Fine. Yes, even those who are reproducing asexually are considered as species. Of course. Okay. Now, are intermediate species included in this? No. Intermediate species and all is going to be something which is artificial. Okay. The ones which are artificial are not going to be considered. You can make whatever number of artificials you want. Okay. Fungi? No. That comes under your different kingdoms only. Kingdom fungi अलग से है. Okay. Bacteria भी included नहीं है, fungi भी included नहीं है, protists भी included नहीं है. These are purely plants and animals that are being considered over here. Okay. Breeds. Yes, you're right, beta. Ananya, right? Yeah, you're right. They are breeds or variety as we say. Okay, let us talk about the biodiversity. The diverse form of organisms present on Earth is going to be called as biodiversity. Okay, nomenclature, we have to name them. Without name, kaisa chalega? Just now I asked Ananya, is it right? Is your name Ananya? Yeah, yes. Okay. So आइडेंटिटी होती है ना हर एक की, हर एक का एक नाम है कि नहीं, विदाउट नेम ओ हेलो कितने लोगों को बोलते जाओगे तुम, so there has to be some name, so nomenclature is important, right? Yes, so nomenclature is a system of naming organisms. There are millions of plants and animals in the world. Plants and animals are known in the local area by their local names. Yes, you know this. Yeah, you're right, Shreya, you're right, beta. So we are coming towards that only. So local names are very famous. Fine. These local names will vary from place to place, region to region, country to country also. So it is impossible for any person to remember the names of an organism in all languages. Of course, you go to some other place and you say your local name, what you say over here, it will be very difficult for the other to understand also, right? Hence, there is need for a uniform system of nomenclature of organisms. So once we have known that there are around 1.7 to 1.8 million species, the next काम जो हमारा आता है उनका नेमिंग सेरेमनी, करेक्ट, उनका नेमिंग सेरेमनी करना पड़ता है, तो ये नेमिंग सेरेमनी को हम कहते हैं नॉमेनक्लेचर. Fine. So you have to talk about the nomenclature in the next slide. Okay. So why varieties of mangoes or even dogs are not different species? No, my dear. So species is going to be something wherein there are two individuals who are capable of interbreeding. Okay. So you take Alfonso mango, and by mistake the Alfonso mango is its pollen grain gets successful in germinating on the Kesar mango ka egg, you can have a new variety. So varieties or breeds could be many, but the species is going to be the same. Okay. Yeah, spider is a species. Yes, of course. So first is nomenclature. Second is identification. What's your doubt, Dhruv? No one will use nomenclature in other place, even if we don't know the name of the animal in that language, as nomenclature is tougher than the language. Yeah. But it's basically, like, especially for vegetables. Okay. So for vegetables, this is the problem. Like what to say. ये दे दो करके हम दिखा के बोल सकते हैं, बट उसको अलग अलग नाम से जाना जाता है. See, I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example. For example, you know what is शकरकंद. शकरकंद क्या होता है बेटा? In English, we call शकरकंद as what? Yeah, शकरकंद is sweet potato. Okay. Now in Hindi, we call sweet potato as shakarkand. In Marathi, we call it ratal. In Gujarati, we call it ratalu. Right? Then in some language, I don't remember the name of that language, they call it as janasu. So, like, there are many names by which we can, like, use it. So if I go to any local market and if I use the word which is not known, famous, like, okay, so that person will be lost कि ये क्या बोल रहे हो ना. So local names बहुत बार confusion create करते हैं. So इसीलिए there is an approach that is given, which is your scientific approach. See, if a person wants to do a research on the shakarkand, okay, sweet potato पे अगर उसको research करना है, तो you can't go to a research institute and say कि मुझे रताड़ा दो, मुझे उसके ऊपर research करना है, ऐसे बोल सकते हैं. So that person will look at you. You're going to US and you're telling that person, रताड़ा है क्या? रताड़ा दे दो भाई, मेरे को research करना है. What will that person, understand? He just look at you. Okay? Yeah. Or if I say, मैंने रतालू जो है आप ही दो मैंने, what will that person look at you and say that, bhai, where are you? Yeah, I know it would be very funny, na? So that is the reason there has to be a general name which everyone would be comfortable with. And that one name which everyone would be comfortable with will be called as your binomial nomenclature, which we're going to talk about. Okay. So yes. Okay. So that is what I was talking about, So there has to be a system, a scientific approach, as we say. So one is nomenclature. Fine. Then we have got identification. You have to identify also. ये क्या है? What does it belong to? Okay. So identification is the process of assigning a pre-existing taxon name to an individual organism. Pre-existing taxon name मतलब क्या? That suppose, हाँ suppose, चलो ये taxon वैक्सॉन जाने दो, ये दिमाग का दही करेगा, नहीं चाहिए अपने को ये इतना सब. ओके तो मैं सिंपल लैंग्वेज में बोलती हूँ. हाँ सिंपल लैंग्वेज. When you go to a restaurant, you can see the menu card wherein they have written soups, starters, right, main course, desserts. Basic बता रही हूँ, basic. Okay. Now, if I want to order, say gulab jamun, okay, तो मैं कहाँ देखूंगी, कौन से सेक्शन में देखूंगी? उधर जो प्रिंटेड 4 कॉलम है उनमें से कौन से सेक्शन में मैं देखूंगी? Yes, correct. So directly I'll go into the dessert section. I'll see if they have got gulab jamun with them. Agreed. So there is a pre-existing title called as desserts. This pre-existing title in our scientific language is called as taxon. कुछ समझ में आ रही है बात? Okay, so this pre-existing title is what we called as a taxon in our scientific language. Okay, and I said gulab jamun. Okay, what did I say? I said gulab jamun, and so I searched where? I searched in the dessert wala section. In the same way, suppose I'm a researcher and I've got a new species which I want to put it into some or the other taxons. मतलब इसको मैं आइडेंटिफाई करूंगी ना पहले. सपोज मैंने कुछ बनाया है या मैंने कुछ लाया है आज आपके लिए. अरे यार ये ऑनलाइन पे मैं आपके लिए कुछ ला भी नहीं सकती हूँ. बट एनीवेज इमेजिन कि वी आर फेस टू फेस एंड आई हैव गॉट समथिंग फॉर यू ऑल. So I'll say, you know, my dears, today I've got something for you all. What would be your first question? Miss, what is it? Correct. Second question कोई पूछेगा, मैम तीखा है या मीठा है या नहीं? नमकीन है, तीखा है, मीठा है, कैसा है? तो आप क्या करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो बेटा? You are trying to identify what I have got in my tiffin for you all. Correct? Okay. Then if I say sweet, if I say मीठा है, so some people love chocolates. They'll start thinking about, मैम चॉकलेट का बना है क्या? Some they like रसगुल्ला. मिस रसगुल्ला लाया है क्या? है या नहीं? So the way you think, the way you try to identify is going to be the way you are going to have a liking for. Correct? So firstly, you're taking the names of different sweets. Secondly, you're trying to identify them, and how are you going to identify them? By their names, right? So suppose I tell you all, आँख बंद कर लो, close your eyes. Hey, genuinely do this. I know you all are at home and I don't know if you will listen to me or not, but please do it for me. Come on. Just not as a teacher, as a friend, I'm telling you. Come on. All of you all close your eyes. Okay? Close your eyes and don't think of a monkey. Close your eyes and don't think of a monkey. Now tell me genuinely, आँख खोल के, जब मैंने monkey बोला, तो क्या आप monkey के बारे में सोच नहीं पाए कि सिर्फ monkey के बारे में सोच पाए? Come on, tell me. Did all of you all think of a monkey or did you not think of a monkey? Come on. Yeah, na? I know, but it's human tendency. You all are not an exception. So will I get angry? You're not listening to your teacher. How dare you not do this? Arey, I know, Baba. It's going to happen because that name is so firm in our mind that I say monkey, I say don't think, but that word monkey is so much fixed in our mind that immediately you will start thinking of all the characters of that monkey, right? You forced, but you couldn't, nah? I know, my dear. So in the same way, while identifying, the names are so helpful for us that just looking at the name, we can identify what it is. And then you can put it in a group. Then you can put it in a section. You can give it in an heading. ये कौन है? हाँ, तो ये fish है ना? ये कौन है मेरा ऑर्गेनिज्म? तो ये जो ऑर्गेनिज्म है, इट लुक्स लाइक, आई एम ट्राइंग टू आइडेंटिफाई ना. तो जैसे मैंने बोला था कि मैंने अगर टिफिन में कुछ मीठा लाया है, तो जैसे तुम लोग आइडेंटिफाई करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, वैसे आई एम ट्राइंग टू आइडेंटिफाई माय ऑर्गेनिज्म. ये कौन है? ये फिश के जैसा है, सो मे बी इट्स अ फिश, सो आई विल पुट इट इन अ टैक्सॉन ऑफ फिश. ये क्या है? No, it doesn't look like a fish. It looks more like a spider. So I think it should be a crustacean. Okay, so this is identification. But for identification, what is required, beta? Pre-existing knowledge is required. If you don't have the pre-existing knowledge, it will be difficult for you all to identify the new object. Okay, no, my dear, I'll tell you the difference between taxon and rank also. There are three things that is always confused in your mind. One is a taxon, one is a category, and one is a rank. There are three things जो मैं आपको explain करूँगी, of course. Okay, so you understood what I'm trying to tell you all is, समझ में आ रही है बात? So pre-existing knowledge की जरूरत है. If you have never ever seen a particular organism, and if I tell you, have you all heard about that? You might have heard, but you have not seen. You cannot correlate. You cannot correlate. Okay. So for correlation, pre-existing knowledge is very important. So for identification, pre-existing knowledge plays a very important role. Okay. What are we trying to identify? All the living species. Okay, na? Fine. Then we have got ICBN and ICZN, that is International Code for Botanical Nomenclature and International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. These are the two institutes which are exclusively involved in the naming ceremonies now. But earlier, most of the species were named by a particular scientist called as Carolus Linnaeus, which I'll be talking about. Okay, so this is about the nomenclature and identification process. And then we go ahead with binomial nomenclature. This particular जो भाई साहब आपके सामने फोटोग्राफ में दिखाई दे रहे हैं, वो भाई साहब को भूलना मत बेटा. पूरे 2 साल वो आपके साथ रहने वाले हैं in some of the other chapters. His name is Carolus Linnaeus. Okay. What exactly is botanical? Botanical is associated with botany के names, plant names, and zoological is associated with animal names. Okay. Names and taxons are different, beta. I'll explain that also. Fine. Yeah. So first we'll talk about this dear person, Mr. Carlos Linnaeus. Binomial nomenclature is a system of naming species by giving each a name composed of two components, generic name and species name. Carlos Linnaeus invented the modern system of binomial nomenclature. Now this Mr. Carlos Linnaeus, जब तक उन्होंने ये by means what बेटा? Two. Nomial means names. So two names का जो system लाया गया है in scientific naming, okay, is going to be given the credit to Carlos Linnaeus. Fine. Before that, we had polynomials. Polynomials were like 5, 7, 8, 10 names together. एक ही organism का. I don't remember the movie. There was one movie wherein this Johnny Lever ही था शायद, जो ऐसा साउथ इंडियन डायलेक्ट में अपने पूरे खानदान का नाम बोल रहा था. याद है? Some Muthu Swami, ये Swami, वो Swami, Iyer. I don't remember that movie. I forgot. I mean, I don't watch movies, but someone had told me about this. Dhamal, whatever, Dhamal or double Dhamal. My sister's son is like 7, 8 years old. He knows that entire chain. वो पूरा chain बोलता है. वो इतने सारे नाम. Who was he? I don't know. I mean, that's what I said. I'm very bad at it. I don't know whether it was Johnny Lever or whoever it was. जो था रे. यार तुम लोग मेरा टेस्ट मत लो ना. मैं तुम्हारा टेस्ट लेना चाहती हूँ. तुम लोग मेरा टेस्ट ले रहे हो. मूवीज में मैं जीरो हूँ यार. प्लीज. हाँ, yes, Dhruv is saying Chinna Swami, Muthu Swami, Venugopal Iyer. Yes, perfect. No, he is Carlos Linnaeus. Though he looks, he is Carlos Linnaeus. Okay. Yes. So, for that one particular species, imagine 1.8 million species के इतने लंबे लंबे नाम अगर आपको लर्न करने के लिए मैं बोलती थी तो आप शायद साइंस भूल ही जाते थे ना. बेटर आई गो फॉर कॉमर्स और आर्ट्स. ये कौन करेगा इतना लंबा लंबा नाम एक स्पीशीज का. वैसे 1.8 million species will go crazy, right? Correct. So rather than that, a new approach has been brought by Carlos Linnaeus, that is binomial nomenclature. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So my dears, Don't worry, you don't have to remember 1.8 million binomial nomenclatures also. इतने याद नहीं रखने हैं आपको, टेंशन मत लो. नहीं तो आज बोलोगे यार binomial भी 1.8 कैसे याद रखे? Not required. I'm just saying. Okay. But that was the reason that binomial came after actually polynomial. Na trinomial came, and trinomials were also, you know, then disregarded, but still sometimes we use. Like gorilla का scientific name क्या है पता है आपको? Do you know what is the scientific name of gorilla? Anyone knows scientific name of gorilla? जैसे कि human beings का scientific name is Homo sapiens, वैसे gorilla का scientific name क्या है पता है क्या? No, it's gorilla, gorilla, gorilla. अरे seriously, not joking. अरे बाबा, I'm here to teach you all, not to do jokes always. Seriously, it's gorilla, gorilla, gorilla. It's the scientific name of gorilla. Genuinely. Okay. Are no, I'm not joking. You can search anyway. It's a fact. So gorilla ka scientific name itself is gorilla, gorilla, gorilla. It's a trinomial. It's accepted. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's a trinomial. So it was proposed earlier, and in animals, these are accepted, not in plants. Okay, exactly. Yeah. Same species, same spelling, Gorilla, gorilla. Yeah, gorilla berenga is not going to be, like it's not accepted. Okay, it's not the accepted one. Fine. Gorilla, gorilla, gorilla is an accepted by ICZN. Fine. So there are two authorities, ICBN and ICZN, who needs to approve this name. Fine. Yeah, Homo sapien and Homo sapien sapien is the same. Fine. Yes. Okay. So 2 or 3 names when it's easy to keep one name. Yeah, we'll come to that. Why there is a rule. I'll tell you the rules also of binomial nomenclature. Okay. So binomial nomenclature was put forward by Carlos Linnaeus and is the most accepted form of naming ceremony. And not only that, he has even given all scientific names were given by this Carlos Linnaeus only earlier. Okay. So जैसे कि हमारे में होता है ना, हमारा जब नेमिंग सेरेमनी होता है बेटा, तो जनरली हमारी बुआ होती है ना, आत्या बुआ जो भी आप बोलोगे, शी इज द वन हु इज द ऑथराइज्ड पर्सन टू give the name in your ears na. I don't know if this is a practice in y'all or no, but in us this is a practice. Yeah, exactly. So Atya will come and Atya will, tell the name in the baby's ears. So yes. So here this person is Mr. Atya only. He has given the names in to all the different types of plants and animals. Okay. Yes, in Marathi families, Maharashtrians, this is, generally a trend, correct? Okay, yeah, exactly. So let us see that what are the rules that are put forward. So Carlos Linnaeus was following a particular rule book for naming. He was just not naming for the sake of naming. अरे of course मुझे मराठी आती है, मतलब मैं mother tongue is मराठी बाबा. Okay. So I can speak in English because of course born and brought up in English medium school. So English of course I'm comfortable with. Marathi because it's my mother tongue. Gujarati because I'm born and brought up in Borivali. So all my friends are Gujarati. So I'm very well at Gujarati also. Hindi is बम्बैया हिंदी मेरा बहुत अच्छा नहीं है. वो टिपिकल बम्बैया हिंदी वाला जो डायलेक्ट होता है ना, हाँ वो राष्ट्रभाषा जरूर है, लेकिन वो थोड़ा बम्बैया हिंदी वाला कैटेगरी है मेरा. ओके. या स्नेहा या बेटा. ओके. Yeah, I am vegetarian. So what? So even Maharashtrians are vegetarian. It's not like that way. Okay. So my surname is Karkhanis. So I'm a proper Maharashtrian. Okay. Well, so basically, I can clear your doubts in these 4 languages very comfortably. Okay. So yeah. So I can clear your doubts in these 4 languages. You know where you will need my help for these 4 languages, you will need my help in the chapter of morphology of flowering plants. because there are so many different names now, and those names are in scientific language. And then what it is called in Marathi, what it is called in Gujarati, what it is called in Hindi, and what it is called in local language, English. So there you would be, like it will be helpful for these four languages. I know these four. Okay, fifth nahi aati hai, चार ही आते हैं. Anyway, so biological names are usually written in Latin word and they are printed in the italic form. So these are the rules, my dears. And these rules have been asked several times in your competitive exams also and in your college exams also. So this comes for 2 marks in your college exams, in your theory paper, that write down any four rules of binomial nomenclature. Then you have to write down as a subjective paper in your college na. So that time you will be writing 4 points of these. And in your competitive exams like NEET and all also, that regularly give questions on these rules. So please pay attention to these rules. If you don't follow any rules, of course I'll explain. Okay, I am there na, मैं हूँ ना, I am there. You need not worry कि इसको कैसे याद करना है. मैं हूँ ना, मैं क्यों हूँ फिर? What is my role then? I'll make you all learn all the scientific names. Don't worry. Okay. And how to do that also? I'll give you tricks. Simple hai. Okay. So the first rule is these binomial names or these biological names are written in Latin. Latin means they have to originate from the Latin language. Okay. It has to be Latinized. Fine. So all the binomial names have been used from the Latin language. Fine. And when we type them in italics. Like you can see over your example, Mangifera indica is mango. Can you see this? How the typing is done? It is done in the italic form. So when we type it, it has to be in italics, but the origin of the language should be Latin. Now, this question is for all of you all. Please listen at the question very carefully and try to answer this. I know many of you all would not know about it, but still guess work पे है ये, ठीक है? First, look at the question. The question is, the biological names are usually written in Latin because. Okay, the question is, biological names are usually written in Latin because. First option, Carolus Linnaeus' mother tongue was Latin. Second, Latin is a dead language. Third, Latin is an easy language. And fourth, Latin was the common language during Carlos' time. What would be your option? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Option 4, option 4. 1. Okay, someone is saying 1. Someone said dead language. Okay. So I'm getting a mixture of all, but many of you all are going ahead with 1 and 4. Hey, ये क्या है? 2, 3, 4. Shreya, ये क्या है? You have to give only one language. Okay, my dear. Yeah. So all those who have given this Niharika, right? Yeah. Those who all have given this answer as dead language is the right answer, beta. Okay. So Latin is a dead language, and therefore the biological names have to be picked up from Latin. Now your dead language क्या होता है? See, my dears, the language which cannot have any alterations with respect to the spellings is going to be a dead language. For example, yeah. For example, you talk about the word color. It could be COLOR or it could be COLOUR. Correct. So there is a chance of grammatical changes. So that will be a living language wherein the grammatical changes can be taking place. But Latin is a dead language. Okay. Yeah. So no one can mess with it. Whatever is there, it is there. Okay. So that was the question that was asked in the year 2014. अपना कौन सा एग्जाम AIPMT ऑल इंडिया प्री मेडिकल एग्जाम ऑफ 2014 का जो पेपर है that particular paper had this particular question. Fine. So now I have given you the answer already. So if this question comes in your exams, आपके +4 marks आपके pockets में आने चाहिए. आएंगे ना? पक्का? Yes. Yeah, my dears. So I'll be, continuously whenever I'll teach you, with everything that I'm going to teach you, I'll be also telling you all from the exam point of view, if whatever has been asked on this. Okay. So what is my, if I was your, like in your place, if I was a student and I was in your place, what I would do, I would take a notebook, I would write down these questions which my teacher used to say, and then it will be like a revision for me. So if it's possible for you, kindly take a notebook and write down these questions when I'm discussing only. है ना? तो ये ऐसे इधर के इधर ही आपका है ना पूरा पेपर क्रिएट हो जाएगा धीरे धीरे. So you won't be like lost ki what questions can come from this particular thing. You know what questions can come because I'm going to talk on those lines only. ठीक है? Fine. Very good, Pushkar. Very good, beta. Yes. So this is the way the question was framed in the year 2014 for AIPMT. Okay. Look at the second point. So these are two words. Binomial means two words, and both the words have to be from Latin. While writing, we have to have they given this or not? हाँ, दिया है. आगे वो भी point है. Okay. Look at the second point. Scientific name usually contains two parts. First word will be called as genus, and the second word will be called as species, or it's called as specific epithet. Fine. So Mangifera indica example देखिए यहाँ पर best है. फिलहाल मैंगो का सीजन भी चल रहा है, so it's very good that you can correlate the things. So Mangifera indica or mango में Mangifera will be the genus and indica will be the species or specific epithet. Okay. You are asking whether you need to take any book now. See, beta, if you have got NCERT 11 textbook, it's okay. If you can buy that online, it's okay. If you get it, it's fine. But even if you don't get it, don't worry as of now. Okay. And no need of buying any reference books, no need of buying any books for solving at all. Everything will be provided to you all for writing. Okay. The question answers, everything will be given. There is no need of any books, my dear. It's only NCERT textbook and government textbook. These are the only two books which I was talking about. Cover page of the book. Okay, I'll show you at the end of the session. At the end of the lecture, I'll show you the NCERT का textbook का cover also and 11th standard का cover government textbook का भी दिखाती हूँ. हाँ, I'll show you. Sure, I'll show you. So it'll be easy for you all to select. Na? I'll show you. Okay, fine. Otherwise, don't buy any books. Not required. Fine. Okay. See. So here in Mangifera indica, Mangifera is going to be called as the genus, and indica would be called as the specific epithet, or it will be called as your species. Okay. Similarly, look over here. You can see over here in the second example they are talking about. That is Homo sapiens. Right? That is Homo sapiens. What is in Homo sapiens, see my dears? Homo is going to be your genus and sapiens is going to be your species or specific epithet. Got it? पक्का समझ में आ गया? Okay, yeah. So that is about the genus and the species. Look at the third point. The third point says that genus name always starts with a capital letter, while the species name starts with a small letter. Again, you can take the same example. Mangifera indica, M capital, I small. Homo sapiens, H capital, S small. Oryza sativa, O capital, S small. Okay, so that is again a thumb rule. Fine. Yeah, what's your doubt, beta? We do not get the notes also of class that you teach on the last. Are my dears, you will get the entire PowerPoint presentation of this particular, whatever I'm going to teach you. You don't have to worry. Okay, you will get those. Even notes and everything will be, given to you all very soon. So don't worry about that. Okay, all the materials and everything will be given to you all. You don't have to worry about that. When? Yeah, that also I'll tell you when. Okay, So definitely it will be, given to you all as soon as, now, what is the thing? Like right now, because of this lockdown, now there's a problem of delivering the things right away, firstly. And second thing is like still it's in the process now. So once we are sure about the numbers and everything will be, in line. You don't have to worry about it. Correct? Okay? Don't worry. Yeah, yeah, after admission, of course. Of course, after admission, you will get everything. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for us also to maintain the records. Right? Yeah. So, very right. So, once you confirm the admissions, then obviously you are on our roll. So, accordingly, you will get everything. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you, there are many things, not only one Beta Vaishnavi, there are so many that we have to. It is Makata, Macaca, Makata. Okay. So yeah. So here I'm talking about what? Oriza sativa. So O is also capital, S is small. So this rule is going to be, throughout the binomial nomenclature, this rule is going to be applicable to all. Okay. Yeah, we will send everything, my dears. Once the things are in place now, we'll send the PDF. Everything will be given. Everything will be given. Don't worry. Fine. And those who are not going to get the physical copies of NCRT textbooks, अगर नहीं मिल रहा है, तो NCRT textbook PDF are available online also. Okay, so you can refer online textbooks as of now if you want. They are available on your Google. You just search na. The free downloading is available. Okay, don't worry. Then see, the genus name starts with huh. Then biological name is printed in italics. Like for example, like it's always going to be printed in italics to indicate their Latin origin, and they are underlined when this is handwritten. Now this is the most important point, my dears. In your exams, in your college exams, in your board exams, board 12th standard boards की बात कर रही हूँ मैं. So in your board exams or even in your college exams, whenever you write a scientific name, for example, if you are writing Mangifera indica, okay, you need not write it in italics. You have to write in your normal Roman font, the way we write it. Okay, but we have to underline each word separately. So Mangifera को अलग से underline करना है, Indica को अलग से underline करना है. If you are writing Homo sapiens, Homo को अलग से underline करना है, Sapiens को अलग से underline करना है. This is the rule. Now in your board exams, if you write the entire paper correctly, and if you all have not underlined these binomial names, then your half mark will be deducted for your correct answer. So you have to have a practice of this. बोर्ड एग्जाम में अगर आपने कोई भी साइंटिफिक नाम लिखा है, अगर कोई क्वेश्चन है, and if you are they have asked you anything, and in general you are writing any scientific name in your board exams, and if you do not underline those na, your half mark will be deducted unnecessarily. Suppose you're going to write 10 scientific names in your board exams, 12th standard, and you don't underline them, unnecessarily you will lose your 5 big marks. So be very careful about this rule, that whenever we write the scientific names, they have to be separately underlined. तो genus अलग से underline करना है और species name को अलग से underline करना है. Did you all understand this? Handwritten doesn't matter in handwritten scientific name, but in underline, yeah. Underlining is compulsory for your biological names. So if you write Mangifera indica, if you write Oryza sativum, you write Triticum aestivum, you write whatever names you want, you write now. You have to underline it. Otherwise, your half mark per binomial name will be deducted. Okay, got it? All of you? Yeah. So this is one more rule. Then examples they have given for this, and I guess I would need to dictate one or two more rules for you all. No, they are there. So the next rule, look at the next rule. The name of author comes after the name of the species, generally written in an abbreviated form in Romans. Romans means your normal writing. This, whatever you're seeing on the screen, is Roman letters. Okay. Binomial, along with the name of the author, is referred to as binomial epithet. Now, for example, Carolus Linnaeus has given the name to Mangifera indica. So, how we will write his name? मैंजिफेरा इंडिका L और LINN, so that L या फिर LINN gives the name of the author who has named the species. Okay, so Mangifera indica L, capital L, या फिर Mangifera indica LINN. Okay, so that L या LINN will denote the name of the author कि ये नाम किसने दिया. समझ में आ गई बात? So they are saying the name of the author comes after the name of the species. So Mangifera indica, indica is the name of the species. उसके बाद author का नाम आता है. Written in abbreviated form, either L या फिर LINN. Okay. Now the beauty is when we print, Mangifera indica will be in the italic mode, but Lin या L will be in your Roman. So L या Lin को आपको italics में print नहीं करना है. In the same way, L या Lin को आपको underline भी नहीं करना है. Fine. 3 years before, that is 2018, this was the question that they had asked. Select the correct options among the following for the printing of the binomial name. Printing बोला था उन्होंने. Printing मतलब सबसे पहले दिमाग में क्या आना चाहिए? It should be in italics. दूसरा क्या आना चाहिए? Author's name should be in Roman. तीसरा क्या आना चाहिए? Genus name should be in capital, first alphabet, and species name should be in small. Correct? Right? हाँ बेटा, you're right. But Mangifera indica would be printed in italics, and L will be in Roman. ठीक है? If they would have given the question as select the following how the scientific name is written बोला होता है ना बेटा, तो underlining होता था. Printed बोला है तो italic font चाहिए. Okay? Author's full name नहीं होता है. Authors के जो नाम होते हैं ना, it is written in abbreviation, that is L या Lin. Generally only L या Lin ही आएगा. No other are so famous. कार्लस लीनियस अपनी सबकी बुआ है, मैंने बोला था ना स्टार्टिंग में, तो ये भाई साहब ही सबको नाम देते गए हैं. Trinomial is not accepted, so there is nothing for trinomial specifically. This is for binomial nomenclature theories. Fine, understood? Okay, if the name of the species consists of 2 words, then the 2 words are joined by putting a hyphen in between the 2 words, like hibiscus rosa sinensis. So rosa and sinensis के बीच में एक hyphen है. Okay, so if the species name is 2 words, then a hyphen has to be inserted. Again, a rule put forward by ICBN. Maximum and minimum number of alphabets in genus and species is 12 to 3 respectively. So maximum is 12, minimum is 3. So your Mangifera को count करो, MANGIFERA, 9. Indica को count करो, INDICA. So it should be minimum 3, maximum 12. उसके ऊपर नहीं जाना चाहिए, उसके नीचे नहीं आना चाहिए. Fine? Yeah, that's what. So Mangifera should not be more than 13 or less than 12, more than 12 or less than 3. Indica should not be more than 13 or 12 or less than 3. So genus also and species also, both should not be about 12 or below 3. Individually. Okay, got it? Huh. Then look at the next one, that is principle of priority is followed. The first valid published name. What you have not followed, beta? Second point, this one, hibiscus rosa sinensis. Rosa and sinensis are 2 names. So species is going to have, dual name. So there it is. There is going to be a hyphen. Mango is not there. No. Here we are talking about hibiscus, that is China rose. In Mangifera indica is only 1 word. So there is no requirement of a hyphen. Indica के आगे कोई नहीं है. Okay ना? Got it? No. In Mangifera and indica there is no hyphen. Mangifera is genus, indica is species. अगर species के 2 नाम हैं तो उसमें hyphen आता है. So hibiscus, rosa, sinensis. So rosa and sinensis are two words. How we will know? We have to understand. We have to learn. We have to go through them. Okay. It is just the way of giving the name. Some of you all have got pet names, right? In the same way, even these are somewhat like your pet names. So they are added to it. So with a hyphen. Okay. So this also they have given like to be more precisely moving towards their characteristics. What is rosa? What is sinensis? What is indica? What is sativa? I'll talk about them also. Then you will come to know. Then principle of priority is followed. So the first published valid name is accordingly going to be given to the person who is or accepted by the person who is going to be giving it first. So I am giving a name, you are giving a name for same particular species. I give it second, you give it first, your name will be added. So suppose you give a name to a particular organism, then उस साइंटिफिक नेम के आगे आपके इनिशियल्स आएंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हु इज राइट नाउ इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी, पुष्कर इज देयर. ओके, सो ही हैज गिवन मी सम आंसर. सो पुष्कर का नाम मुझे यहाँ पर दिख रहा है. सो देन योर पी विल बी देयर instead of my a, that particular name and then p. So principle of priority will be for the one who has given the name first. जिसने पहले नंबर लगाया बोलने के लिए कि ये इसका साइंटिफिक नाम है, that person will get the credit. Okay. Yeah, it is Linnaeus because it was given by Linnaeus only. Majority were given by Linnaeus only. Okay, fine. So that is principle of priority is followed. Then there is one thing which is missing over here. Can you all please write down this point? This one point is missing. Then I'll come to tautonyms and homonyms. One point just write down, beta. That is genus. Genus is a noun, while species is an adjective. Genus is a noun, while species is an adjective. Always. Adjective का मतलब क्या होता है? What do you mean by adjectives? Come on, grammar. You all have studied. What do you mean by adjective? Describing words. Yes, describing words. So when I say indica, Mangifera indica, indica is describing that this particular mango is originally from India. Indica indicates origin in India. Okay, fine, fine. So each species is going to be a describing word, and each genus is going to be a noun. Fine. So eventually we will see so many names, and I'll tell you the meaning of all of them. Okay, I'm falling short of time, so I'll just quickly उसके examples अगर बाद में कोई आते हैं तो we'll be going ahead with it. Okay. Look at the tautonyms. Tautonyms means what? The same repeated words are not allowed in botany. So ICBN does not allow, but ICZN allows. Like malus malus is not allowed. Malus malus is going to be your apple. Ratus ratus is rat. Rat is allowed. Ratus ratus allowed. Malus malus not allowed. So tautonyms means the genus name and the species name same, accepted in zoology, not accepted in botany. So gorilla gorilla is accepted. Gorilla is accepted in zoology, but botany में it is not accepted. Okay. And lastly, homonyms means there are two species with the same name, not allowed. So Prunus dulci was the name given to almond also and plum also, which is not allowed. Okay. So these are the rules of your binomial nomenclature. Fine. Okay. Yeah, that's it with the binomial nomenclature part. In the next class, we can go ahead with the next, that is identification, and something very interesting, that is hierarchical system, जो बहुत मजा करके हम लोग पढ़ेंगे जैसे आज हमने पढ़ा हुआ है. Okay, so those अच्छा, someone was asking me to explain the first point and the fourth point. First point is very simple, beta, that after the scientific name, the person who has given the name to it, उसके initials आते हैं. तो जैसे कि Mangifera indica L. L stands for Linnaeus. So that is called as your binomial epithet. That is the first point. And the fourth point is principle of priority means There are two scientists who have proposed the names of the same species, but who has given it first will be given the credit. क्रेडिट किसको मिलेगा? जिसने पहले वो दर्ज किया है उसको क्रेडिट मिलेगी. ओके, या लिन में एल इज कैपिटल. लिन में एल इज कैपिटल. यू वांट मी टू एक्सप्लेन द लास्ट पॉइंट? या सी, प्रूनस डुल्सी वाज वन नेम व्हिच वाज गिवन टू टू डिफरेंट प्लांट्स. एक था बादाम का प्लांट, एक था प्लम का प्लांट. उन दोनों को उन्होंने नाम क्या दिया था? प्रूनस डुल्सी, व्हिच इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेड ना. दे आर सेइंग दैट इज रॉन्ग. You cannot give the same name to two individual species. Fine? Got it? Yeah. What is your doubt, beta? First, second, third, fourth. Fourth, you are not following. See, there are two people, me and you. What's your name? Your name is starting from K. Okay. If I give a name to a particular species and even you give the name to the same species, I am doing a research on one particular organism. Even you are doing the research on the same organism which I am doing. Okay? दोनों, तू तुम्हारे घर पे कर रहे हो, मैं मेरे घर पे कर रही हूँ. ठीक है. लेकिन you also proposed the name of that species to the authorities कि ये मेरा species का नाम होना चाहिए. मैंने बोला ये मेरे species का नाम होना चाहिए. जो authorities है ना बेटा, they tried to figure out. They said even this person who is Mr. K and even this lady Mrs. A both have got the same species. They were working on the same species. Okay, but वो स्पीशीज सबसे पहले किसने हमारे पास लाके दी? तो मिस्टर के ने लाके दी. इसीलिए वो स्पीशीज के आगे के लगेगा, ए नहीं लगेगा. नाउ गॉट इट? नाउ अंडरस्टूड दिस फोर्थ पॉइंट बेटा? एनी कंफ्यूजन स्टिल? एनी कंफ्यूजन स्टिल माय डियर? हाँ, if both of them go at the same time, they cannot go at the same time. You get tokens. You have to fill up the tokens and you have to give it. Okay. Mango is L written in front. Huh? Yes, yes. First one seems somewhat. No. If it is wrong, then it won't. If it is wrong, then it won't. If it is correct, only then. Okay. Therefore, LINN. Then in that case, LINN will be written. Not only L will be written. L is written at the end. Why? Because Mangifera indica was given by Linnaeus. Linnaeus का L आता है ना बेटा, इसलिए Mangifera indica L. Okay. Synonyms. Synonyms is nothing. Synonyms किधर है? Homonyms and tautonyms है. That is ratus. Malus is not accepted in botany, but it is accepted in zoology. If they have got the same initials, then it will be a longer spelling that we have to. Yeah. Class is over. Those who have got doubts are waiting. L Mangifera indica L नहीं बेटा, L नहीं आएगा. Directly Mangifera indica L ऐसे आएगा. पहले वाला L को निकाल दो. पहला L नहीं आएगा. It will be Mangifera indica L. Okay. Got its biological name first by Linnaeus. It was Mangifera indica only. Okay, it was Mangifera indica only. Different genus, but some same species be bred artificially. Okay, fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what now they are saying. Let's see, the first valid publisher is accepted as binomial and rest will be considered as synonyms. तो अगर किसी और बंदे ने कुछ दूसरा नाम दिया ना, तो also known as के हिसाब से उसको हम बोल सकते हैं. But accepted in ICBN and ICZN will be the first person who has given the name. Okay, got it? Okay, fine. Roman means your normal font. Italics means that sleeping font. Okay. For the fourth point, there must be a new species. Yes, my dear. You are right, Advait. You are perfectly right. New species hona chahiye. Okay. Got it? I'll show you the book cover. Get the book cover na. 11th standard NCERT book dena. NCERT also and give the government textbook also. Yeah, I'll show the cover beta. I'll show you the cover. Fourth point name का example, there is no specific one like that way. Till now they have not, declared anything like that. So they are accepting only one. Second one is actually rejected to some extent. Yeah, thank you so much, Beta. Yeah, see, this is the cover of 11th standard. 11th standard NCERT looks like this. ये जो है ना इसको याद रखो, ये insect है. This is 11th standard NCERT. Okay, can't see. Okay, I'll stop the stream. I'll stop the screen share and I'll show it. Yeah. Can you see now? Can you all see now? Yeah. So this is your NCERT 11th standard. Okay. This is NCERT. And this is going to be your government textbook. This is going to be your 11th government textbook. Fine. So if you can get this, that is fine. Otherwise, online also these books are available. So whatever is okay with you all. Okay. Bye, see you all. I guess we have got a class on Friday again, and we'll go ahead with the next topic on Friday. Okay. Yeah, we can do it, beta. We can do it. Yeah, if you can buy it online, that's fine. If it's not available, that's also okay. You can refer from your, soft copies also. Both are available. Both are available, and you have to refer both the books. Both books you have to refer. This NCERT also and this also. Both are required. Sorry, this one. Both are going to be required. Okay, this is 11th standard. 12th standard के अलग है. 12th standard के अलग है. ये 11th standard के है. ठीक है? चल. Bye beta. See you all. Yes. Thank you beta. Thank you very much. See you all. Bye. Yeah. Can you send the photos of the book on the group? I'll do that. I don't know which is your group, but I'll do that. Okay. I'll tell ma'ams to send the photographs. Okay beta. Bye my dears. Have a nice day. Enjoy your day. See you.